Okay, we are doing Leetcode 3223, minimum length of a string after operations. Now, since you are here, I'm assuming that you have already read the question. It says you're given a string S. We need to choose an index I from this particular string, and then what we have to do is choose an index I in the string so that there is at least one character to the left of index I that is equal to S of I. And for example, if this is the string which I'm talking about, then for example if this is the I which I choose, I need to choose such an I such that there is another A behind that. There is at least one character to the left of index I that is equal to itself, say, and at least one character to the right that is also equal to S of I. So I need to choose such an index such that there is the same character to the right hand side of it, and then the same character to the left hand side of it as well. I could have chosen this, and I could have chosen this as well. These were the only two options which I had, right? I couldn't have chosen the B because I don't have any other B in my string. Now after that, after you have chosen the index, what you can do is you can delete the closest character to the left of index side that is equal to S of S. For example, this was the string which we are talking about, right? So if you choose this one, if you choose this A, then what you can do is you can remove this A and then this A, since this is the closest to its right hand side. But for example, if you had chosen this particular A, because this is a valid choice as well, then you would have had to delete this and this, right? So delete the closest character which is to the left, and then delete the closest character which is to the right. For example, if I take this particular string which is A B A B A C B C B B, then what you can do is we can very clearly realize that this A is a valid index first of all, so I can remove this and this, right? Okay, then I can choose this particular B, and I can remove this B and then this B. So I'm left with A C C B. Did I copy the example correctly? I think so. And then you get the idea, right? For example, if I had A B C B C D B, so what I could have done is I could have chosen this particular B and then removed this and this. So ultimately, at the end of the day, as you can very clearly observe, that we don't actually have to, we don't actually have to perform these operations and then return the new string. We don't actually have to do anything like that. What we just have to do is like apply simulate. We actually have to simulate applying the operations, and then we just have to return the length of the resulting string, right? That's what we have to do. Right. So let's take a couple of examples over here. For example, if I had a string, if I had like four A's, in that case, what I could have done is I could have either chosen this as my I index, or I could have chosen this as my I index, and then I would have removed. For example, if I was choosing this, I would have removed this and this, and I'll just be left with a double A, and then I can do no more operations on this particular one, right? For example, if I had five A's, then what if I could have done is I could have chosen this I, remove this and this, so that I'm left with three A's. And again, I could have chosen this particular index and removed this one and this one. So I'll be left with A. And then what you will notice is that this pattern emerges. This pattern remains as it is for longer strings as well. So for example, if I had seven A's, I would choose this, remove this and this, then this and this, then this and this. So if then that means that what that means is if you have odd number of any particular character, then you only need to count one instance of it, right? And if you have even number of characters, then what you need to do is you need to count two instances of that particular character. Why? Because if you have even characters, if you have four or six or eight, then at the end of the day you'll be left with two instances of that particular character. So that actually makes our question really easy, isn't it? What we just have to do is count the frequency of each character, isn't it? So I have A, B, A, A, C. So let me just make some space over here. Let me erase all these things. Also, let's maybe just select and erase them. this. Okay, perfect. And then, for example, if I have a b a c b c b, right? That is what I have. So what I'll do is I'll just take a map. How do we count frequency, right? The very simple way to count the frequency of characters, or for that matter anything, to count the frequency of anything is by using a map, right? You can also use a frequency vector, but then for simplicity's sake we'll just take a map right now. So what I'll do is I'll count the first character which I'm encountering is A. So I'll have the character over here and I'll have the frequency over here. So that means that the map which I'm taking is of type what? It's of type character comma. Alright. Achha, so I'll take this A over here. Its frequency is right now 1. Then I have B. Its frequency is right now 1. Then A and A, so it becomes 3. Then C, so it becomes 1. B, so it becomes 2. C, so becomes 2. And then I have 2B, so that means it becomes 4. Shaji, let's try to think, okay, what the answer of this particular string is going to be. So I choose this A, I cancel this and this. Alright, this and this gets cancelled. Choose this B, and this B gets cancelled. Zabardast. So I'm at the end of the day I'm left with A, C, B, C, B. Now I can't actually, A, C, B, C, B. I can't further, shorten this anymore. Why? Because it's very important for you. If you choose a particular index, there should be the same character to the left and right of it, right? So that condition is obviously not being satisfied anymore. So my answer should be 5 at the end of the day, just like it's over here. So what would be my strategy? This is something which I'm doing manually, right? But how will I tell a computer to do this stuff for me? How will I, code this solution up on a more technical level? How will I code it up? So what I'll just do is, I already have the frequency, right? 3, 4, and 2. I'll do all the work on this frequency. What I'll say is, if the frequency is, I'll take a variable which is ans equals to 0. I'll say if this frequency is odd, then what you need to do is, if it's odd, just increment answer by 1, because you'll only be, counting one instance of that particular character. But if the frequency is even, then you need to count two instances of that character, as we can very clearly see in the case of B and C over here, right? So I'll just say if the frequency is odd, then increment answer by 1. If it's even, no matter what the absolute, what the actual values, doesn't really matter, but then if it's even, then you need to increment the answer by 2. So 2 over here and then 2 over here, so overall 5 in your answer. If we take a look at the code, then the code is very easy actually. Create a map. What you do is you count the frequency of each and every character which is in your string. You initialize a variable which is known as answer. Then what does row dot second mean? Row dot second means that so this is one whole row of yours, right? Row dot seconds mean that you're talking about the frequency. You're checking if this frequency is even or odd. Alright. So um if that's even, you need to increment the counter by 2. If it's odd, you just need to increment it by 1, and ultimately you return the answer. If there is anything which is not clear in this particular explanation, do let me know, and I'll try to inculcate it from the next videos. Thank you.